Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us. A major deal has been reached between Canada and China that will see Chinese tariffs slashed on canola. The agreement was struck during a visit to China by Prime Minister Mark Carney and Premier Scott Moe. China will reduce tariffs on Canadian canola seed from 84% to 15%. Tariffs on canola meal and peas will be eliminated. In return, Canada will allow 49,000 Chinese-made EVs into the country at a 6.1% tariff rate.
Within 3 years, this agreement will drive considerable Chinese investment in Canada's auto sector, creating good careers in Canada and accelerating our progress towards a net zero future and the auto industry of the future.
Premier Scott Moe called the deal a very positive signal that will restore existing trade volumes and open avenues for further opportunities for Canadians. Saskatchewan has signed a 3-year deal with the United Arab Emirates to help the country develop a nuclear energy program. It mainly surrounds development of technologies related to small modular reactors, nuclear plant efficiency, and reliability. The province said with Saskatchewan's vast uranium deposits, it's in a good position to partner on nuclear innovation. Both parties do have the option to renew the deal once the 3-year term expires. Prince Albert police have arrested a man in connection with a spree of firearms-related calls on Wednesday night. A little before 10 p.m., officers were called to the 1700 block of 16th Avenue West for a vehicle that had been shot at, but no one was injured. Minutes later, police were called to the 1800 block of Central Avenue, where a man reportedly pointed a gun at a vehicle. At 10:30, police responded to the 600 block of 18th Street West, where a suspect entered a residence and brandished a gun before fleeing. Then an hour later, police were called to the 900 block of 17th Street West for a man walking with a gun. Officers located the suspect and arrested him in the 1100 block of 17th Street West. Through a search, police seized a sawed-off firearm. The 29-year-old has been charged with multiple firearm offenses. The Wrapped Up for the Holidays clothing donation campaign has finally gathered all of its donations from this holiday season to take to the Salvation Army. For nearly 20 years, Wrapped Up for the Holidays has collected blankets for those in Prince Albert who may need a little extra help during the winter season. The collection takes place through November into the first week of January. Parkland Ambulance says over the years, people started dropping off winter clothing, and this year there were kids' games and toys in some of the donation boxes. This year, Gray's Funeral Chapel decided to hop on board with the campaign and became another drop-off location.
We are always looking for ways to get involved, give back to the community, and I had seen this last year, thought, well, that's another great opportunity to get involved, so I gave Lyle a call and just to see what was involved.
There were 4 drop-off locations: Anderson Motors, Gray's Funeral Chapel, Parkland Ambulance, and the Gateway Mall. We'll have more on the campaign later in the show. Winter sports enthusiasts are being asked to keep safety top of mind when heading out on the ice with the recent winter warm-up. RCMP cautioned people against walking on what it calls white or snow ice, saying it's the weakest type. It says instead wait for clear, strong blue ice to form. The Canadian Red Cross recommends 15 centimeters for small walking or skiing groups and 25 centimeters for snowmobiles. The Saskatoon Fire Department says if a person falls through the ice, call for help.
Tread water, try to get your arms up onto the ice shore or onto the ice shelf, spread your weight out over a larger area.
If you witness a person falling in, the best way to help them is from the shore by extending your reach with a long pole or throwing the end of a rope at the person in need. Well, Jeff, if you were behind a window, it would have been a great day to be outside, or a great day to look outside, but that wind was something else.
It was nasty, and it continues to be nasty. It's got some real bite to it because temperatures have been dropping, and yes, we're around more seasonal values, John, but ultimately those strong winds coupled with seasonal temperatures, instead of, you know, like minus teens in minus 13, minus 12, minus 14 in that area, it feels like it's well into the minus 20s and getting colder as we head into the overnight period. On On the upside, not a lot in the way of active weather, meaning we don't anticipate much more in the way of snow falling, and that could help decrease any questions of visibility. But another system is making its way that should be hitting Saskatchewan Saturday night into Sunday. We'll talk more about that later on.
Well, those strong winds that arrived yesterday left a swath of power outages in eastern Saskatchewan. Yorkton, Kamsack, Kenora, and most of the surrounding areas near the Manitoba border were without power for hours due to the wind. Some rural areas north of Kamsack were without power until this afternoon as crews removed fallen trees off power lines. Some other shorter-lasting power outages were reported in other areas of the province. A new business improvement district proposal is hoping to bring major changes to Saskatoon's westernmost communities. Supporters are hoping to make the Confederation Urban Centre an official business improvement district. They say it would strengthen the area as a business hub while encouraging long-term economic growth on the west side of Saskatoon. Karen Kobeson, CEO of the Confederation Urban Centre, says having an official seat at the table would give the area strength. She adds being able to collaborate with other business improvement districts will help tackle common issues.
They represent a collective, right? And so that unity and that unified voice, and also the sharing of information. So things that happen at City Council or things that happen at different levels are communicated to bids.
Kobeson hopes the Business Improvement District can become a reality by this time next year. The Federal Court of Appeal has ruled the Liberal government did not have reasonable grounds to invoke the Emergencies Act 4 years ago in response to the Freedom Convoy protests. For about 3 weeks in early 2022, downtown Ottawa was filled with protesters, many of whom saying they were furious about COVID-era restrictions. The Emergencies Act allowed for temporary measures like regulating and banning public assemblies and a direction to freeze bank accounts. Today's decision upholds one from a federal court 2 years ago. It ruled the government's decision to invoke the act did not bear the hallmarks of reasonableness, justification, and transparency. Despite all the technology available, more and more young people are embracing hobbies associated with older generations. As Emily Akita reports, they're putting down their devices, replacing scrolling with stitching.
Sweater. Swiping through social media, you'll find some of the newest trends this year are age-old hobbies.
I really want to get into knitting.
Crafting, puzzles, and baking, delighting a whole new generation.
I've recently discovered Mahjong.
The so-called grandma hobbies or analog activities are drawing young people away from doom scrolling.
I packed my needlepoint bag to take over to my grandparents.
Google searches for needlepoint reaching new highs in recent weeks.
My current work in progress.
While WIP, or Work in Progress Wednesday, now has more than 80,000 videos of crafters showing off their projects on TikTok.
Heard you want to start needlepointing, you just don't know where to begin.
It's part of 28-year-old Brooke Michio's New Year's resolution.
I realized all of the activities that I were doing were either on a computer, on the phone, like some sort of screen involved. And this is something that is completely separate from that.
Dude, you know what actually just rips in your 30s, dude, is like birds, dude.
Bird watching also taking flight among young people.
Why do you think there's this embrace of analog activities?
I think we're just going back to the basics. It feels like it's something that kind of unites us across multi-generations.
Stitching new bonds with timeless hobbies. Emily Ikeda, NBC News.
When we come back, a community campaign wraps up. Jasmine Pelche finds out how Wrapped Up for the Holidays went this year.
We're with Sharon Paul from the Gateway Mall to talk about Wrapped Up for the Holidays, the donation campaign that is getting sent out today, right? We're packing up all the donations and shipping them out?
That's right. Today is the day that they receive all of the wonderful stuff everybody's donated.
In terms of how much came in for donations this year, was it about the same as the year before?
Yes, it was about the same as the year before, and we're just so grateful. The community is so generous. You know, when we launched this program so many years, almost 20 years ago, it was so well received, and people continue every year to be so generous with their donations. There's such a need in the community, and those organizations are so appreciative of all of the stuff that the fine folks in our community and surrounding area donate every year.
So is this the 19th year?
We're going on 20. Lyle knows the exact year.
Okay,
I don't remember. It's pretty close.
Well, how has it changed over the last 20 years?
We've actually gotten different things. Originally, it started out with just blankets. We were looking for blankets to keep people warm, and people started donating mitts and toques and footwear. This year, we even got some toys donated, so we'll find a good home for those as well. But the community is so generous. There's handmade stuff. People will literally knit and crochet toques, scarves, mitts, and donate them. So we're just so grateful that people's hearts are so open and generous.
Now, I understand that it's just a donation box, but are you aware if people are crocheting, if it's the same people crocheting things every year or not?
I know there's a few people in the community that is what they do, that's their hobby. They crochet or they knit, and they do, make a huge donation every year. So we're just so grateful that people's, pastimes and their hobbies, they're donating it to a cause that's so worthwhile in our community.
And why is it important for the Gateway Mall to take part in community initiatives like this?
We just love being part of the community, and wherever we can give back, we absolutely, step up and do that. Not only the Wrapped Up for the Holidays, but we partner with different nonprofits, community organizations. Even if it's something just as simple as donating space to get their, cause known in the community, we are there to help. That's what our mandate is to be part of the community, and we love participating in all these different events and promotions and awareness campaigns, yeah.
When did the first day of donations start? How long was the donation period?
We started the beginning of November, and literally the day the bin went up, we had donations pouring in already, and we literally just took it down yesterday, and we had so many people. We emptied it a few times into a secure space so that people could continue donating, and it continued to fill up every week.
Is there anything that people might not understand about this campaign that you think it'd be interesting to share, or?
Probably the main focus is there is a need in our community, and those people who donate, they are really, really filling a void. And the people who receive the donations are so appreciative. They've fallen on hard times, they need a little help in the meantime, and they're so appreciative of the donations from the community.
All right, well, great. Thank you for talking to me about this today.
You're very welcome.
Jeff has a look at weather heading into the weekend and considerations for seniors around winter hazards. Well, Jeff, not very often that Toronto gets worse weather than we get on the prairies here, and not like I need any other reason to stay out west, but it was nice the last few days enjoying some mild temperatures.
We've had really mild conditions, albeit yesterday, the terribly windy. Prince Albert had a peak wind gust of 92 kilometers an hour. Today's peak wind gust, still not exactly light, 63, that was around 11 this morning. But yes, the winds will slowly, emphasis on the word slowly, diminish or back off as we head into the overnight, but it's going to pick up again tomorrow. We'll talk about that in a bit more. But once again, big area of high pressure off the west coast. The storm track moves up over, and it starts coming down and dragging with some cold Arctic air down on top of us. And so we're dealing with, obviously, with the remnants of that snowfall that impacted southern Saskatchewan in particular. Another system is on its way, maybe not quite as potent, but still showing up as we make our way. There you go. There it is right there. And so, yes, it looks like it's going to mainly hang around northern and areas along the Manitoba-Saskatchewan border. But still, it's in play, and thank goodness the winds won't be quite as strong. But look at these overnight temperatures. It's back to being winter, folks. Minus 26 for Spiritwood, minus 23 in the Battlefords, minus 28 in Candle Lake, Birch Hills, as well as Nipawin, minus 29 for the overnight temperature in Melfort, and minus 27 in Rosthern. Most places dealing with partly cloudy skies in the overnight, and certainly certainly with those temperatures and even a little bit of wind, a risk of frostbite exists. As we make our way into tomorrow, bing bong, bouncing back temperature-wise in many locations. -1 for Spiritwood, 1 on the plus side in the Battlefords, albeit with windy conditions. Some of that snow that we showed you on the Futurecast making its way through to Candle Lake, Birch Hills, Nipawin, and Melfort. -8 degrees for Candle Lake's high, -8 for Birch Hills, -6 for Roster, -12 for Nipawin with that snow, and -9 for Melfort. Those temperatures, for the most part, are on the warm side of seasonal. -28 for Prince Albert overnight with increasing clouds. The wind's backing off, but still a risk of frostbite associated with those cold temperatures and even a light wind. Tomorrow, -7 degrees, winds out of the west 30, gusting to 50. In the morning, yes, still a risk of frostbite. Cloudy skies tomorrow for Prince Albert and area. And then -18 on Sunday, a chilly start to the work week, -16. That's about 3 degrees below seasonal, but bouncing back for Tuesday comes with a chance of some flurries. And then a start of a downward trend as we head towards next weekend. 1 week from today, we are looking at -26 degrees for a daytime high. So that's a bit on the crisp side.
And you knew it wasn't going to be too long before we started seeing those leading threes, the -34, did I see there?
Yeah. Look, that's, it's Saskatchewan in January. Come on.
Yeah, that's a good point. Thanks very much, Jeff. Well, a pair of road games for the Prince Albert Raiders this weekend, including a matchup with the Medicine Hat Tigers, who lead the Eastern Conference standings. First, it's a trip to Lethbridge tonight. The Raiders have taken the previous 2 games against the Hurricanes, who are on the outside of the playoff picture in 10th place. Then on Saturday, the Raiders will try to put pressure on the Medicine Hat Tigers, who have beat Prince Albert twice so far this season and are on a 20-0-1-1 streak. Medicine Hat has 65 points in 41 games. The Raiders have 62 in 39 and have the best winning percentage in the conference. Both opponents will make one more trip to the Art Hauser Center before the end of the season. A 70-year-old Saskatoon runner is celebrating a new Canadian record. Laura Woodward on her achievement and message to others.
Lynn Warwick-Epp has done it, running the indoor mile in 7 minutes, 12.28 seconds, setting a Canadian record for women in the 70 age category.
She didn't just set it. She destroyed the record by 8 seconds.
Good job. The previous record set by an Ontario runner was untouched for nearly 2 decades.
She nailed this race. She had an excellent pace and she kept it up and got the performance she wanted.
Among her biggest fans, the ones who call her Baba.
She's energetic, very energetic. She gets us a lot of treats, which is nice.
While most people dread getting older, Warwick-Epp was actually counting down to her 70th birthday, eager to race in a different age group.
So when I turned 70 and I started looking at records, I thought, oh yeah, I think I can get that one, yeah.
She started running in her early 20s as a way to quit smoking.
So I dropped cigarettes and I picked up the runners and I haven't looked back since.
Warwick-Epp says running has carried her through some of life's toughest times. She encourages everyone, no matter their age, to find what moves them.
I mean, it doesn't have to be running. It can be cycling, it can be swimming or kayaking or whatever. But I just feel that outdoor fitness is so critical for your health, for your mental health and your physical health.
Laura Woodward, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Do you have a community event you would like to promote? Or maybe you'd like to draw attention to your organization. Let your local CTV station help you spread the word. Contact us at 306-922-6020 or email panews@ctv.ca. You can appear on CTV Prince Albert's News at 5 and get your message to our viewers.
Winter hazards don't just include cars slipping and sliding on the roads. As our health reporter Pauline Chan tells us, experts worry about seniors in this weather.
Dr. Richard Norman says anywhere from a quarter to a third of older adults will have a fall over the course of a given year, and it's not just due to ice and snow.
The days are also shorter, and so it gets dark early, and people have difficulty seeing, and we're also all wearing bulky winter clothes that can slow down reaction time.
Especially for seniors.
Falls are a major driver of hospitalization for injury. They literally make up around 90% of the hospitalizations that we see.
A significant proportion suffer traumatic brain injuries, and about a third of older Canadians admitted have hip fractures.
Having a significant and lasting impact on a person's mobility and functional independence it's something we really want to avoid.
Clearing snow, putting down salt or sand, and making sure walkways are well lit is essential. But while Dr. Norman urges safety for seniors, he warns staying too much indoors has its own problems.
So social isolation is increasingly recognized as a major driver of health outcomes. It's equivalent to the same degree of risk as smoking around 15 cigarettes per day, or obesity or sedentary lifestyle. That can actually conversely put you at higher risk of falls because you may actually become deconditioned or reduce in terms of your muscle strength and power.
Dr. Norman says the number one solution for social isolation is participation in group programs like volunteering. And for those living with dementia, Dr. Norman says wandering is a special problem in winter.
Hypothermia can set in, especially below freezing, in anywhere between 10 and 15 minutes in some cases. As many as 6 out of 10 people living with dementia will experience wandering at some point as part of their illness.
If you have someone you worry might set off alone in wintry weather, make sure you have an ID package ready with a good quality recent photo of the person, their medical history, and a list of their commonly used routes and attires. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
All right, Jeff, that wind we were talking about all show, it was a feature. A staple high atop a Prince Albert restaurant kicked the bucket during yesterday's windstorm. The giant bucket at the KFC location on 2nd Avenue came apart with the outer shell detaching. I guess you got to look for the spare wings down on the ground, but social media was abuzz with what happened, and part of it was found nearby and brought inside the restaurant. Just one example of the wind proving to be destructive throughout the whole province. Wow. And according to Environment Canada, I think you mentioned it, Jeff, peak winds reached 92 kilometers per hour in Prince Albert yesterday afternoon.
Yeah, it's like it was a very windy day in the Gateway City, and so not a surprise that, it wouldn't take much, you just get, find a seam in that bucket and it's so exposed up there, so I'm glad they found a chunk of it.
Yeah, for sure. It took a while. Well, we had to think about it, and we had to send somebody to make sure that it was
the
real.
I-team.
In these days, you never know what's AI and what's not.
Isn't it true? I know.
No, it made its rounds for sure, and we thought, well, we better check it out there for sure. Well, that's going to send us off, and hopefully a less windy weekend coming. Enjoy it. National News is next.